Here are ancient wisdom that can change your life forever. Don't miss these timeless lessons from Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Do what you must with what you have, where you are. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Death smiles at us all, but all a man can do is smile back. You may leave this life at any moment. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Live a good life. If there are gods and they are just, they will not care how devout you have been, but will welcome you based on the virtues you have lived by. Your days are numbered. Use them to open the windows of your soul to the sun. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. How much time he gains who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say. What we do now echoes in eternity. Everything that happens as it should, and if you observe carefully, you will find this to be so. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Everything is ephemeral, both the rememberer and the remembered. It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. A leader's greatest duty is to be useful to his people. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. The best thing a person can do is to do what is right without expecting any reward or recognition. Do not be wise in words, be wise in deeds. To love only what happens, what was destined, no greater harmony. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. Everything that exists is already fraying at the edges and in transition. That which is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bees. Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny. If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them. To understand the true quality of people, you must look into their minds and examine their pursuits and aversions. It is not for a man to be angry at reality, but to accept it and work with it. Live out your life in truth and justice, tolerant of those who are neither true nor just. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. People exist for each other. Teach them or bear with them. Everything you do should be done as if it were the last thing you do in your life. A man must stand erect, not be kept erect by others. If someone despises me, that is their concern. My only concern is not doing or saying anything worthy of contempt. Never be overheard complaining, not even to yourself. Remember, matter, how tiny your share of it. Time, how brief and fleeting your allotment of it. Fate, how small a role you play in it. If it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. What does not transmit light creates its own darkness. Despise not death, but welcome it, for nature wills it as she does all things. Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. A noble man compares and estimates himself by an idea which is higher than himself. Be grateful for everything that happens. It is an opportunity for virtue and growth. Soon you will have forgotten all things, and all things will have forgotten you. Let men see, let them know, a real man lives as he was meant to live. Your mind will take the shape of what you frequently hold in thought. Stop whatever you're doing for a moment and ask yourself, am I afraid of death because I won't be able to do this anymore? You will meet your fair share of unpleasant people. Respond with integrity and dignity. What is your vocation? To be a good person. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. It is absurd to run away from death, for it is something you cannot escape. It is not the length of life, but its quality. The best answer to anger is silence. Because a thing seems difficult for you, do not think it impossible. People are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. Frightened of change, but what can exist without it? If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Don't go on discussing what a good person should be. Just be one. Whenever you're about to find fault with someone, ask yourself, what fault of mine most resembles the one I'm about to criticize? Receive without pride. Let go without attachment. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything that happens in life. What is divine deserves our respect because it is good. What is human deserves our affection because it is like us. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Do not be misled. Wealth does not make a man better or happier. No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have. People do not strive for what they do not think is possible. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own. Consider that before long you will be nobody and nowhere, like Hadrian and Augustus. Even if you live 3,000 years or 10 times that, remember, you cannot lose another life than the one you are living now. Do not indulge in dreams of what you have not, but reckon up the greatest of the blessings you do possess. A man should be upright, not kept upright. Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you always look. Dig within. Within is the wellspring of virtue, ready to gush forth if you will just dig. Stop allowing your mind to be a slave, to be jerked about by selfish impulses. Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. A rock is thrown in the air. It loses nothing by coming down, gained nothing by going up. Look back over the past, with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too. A wrongdoer is often someone who has left something undone, not always someone who has done something wrong. Be satisfied with your present circumstances and learn to enjoy them rather than longing for something else. No one can keep you from living in accordance with nature. Nothing can happen to you that is not in accordance with nature. All you need are these: certainty of judgment in the present moment, action for the common good in the present moment, and an attitude of gratitude in the present moment. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? You will not be harmed unless you harm yourself. Whenever you feel pain, keep in mind that nothing endures forever, and soon even this will be gone. The cucumber is bitter, then throw it out. There are brambles in the path, then go around. That is all you need to know.